Could you believe that I am already 5 years in marriage this year? Saying that alone sounds weird because I never thought this day will come at this point where I am still feeling the way I'm feeling right now. So I got married in May 2020, and this year will make me complete 5 years of being married. And guess what? Up till this moment, we have no children of our own. So at the point when I got married, I was already pregnant. I was carrying our first child. Unfortunately, that same 2020 in August, I gave birth to her through cesarean section in the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital, and unfortunately lost the baby. It wasn't just a loss to the baby or a loss of the baby, but it was a tragedy. I almost lost my life together with the child, but God willing, and He showed mercy, I was able to be revived back to life. Looking back at that time and looking back at myself right now, sometimes I really don't know if crying will solve the problem, if lamenting will solve the problem. I just sometimes take it as it comes. But if someone had told me that I will be at this point in my life without children of my own, believe me that I will never have taken that person seriously. Because there are things that you do in life and you're like, okay, if something happens, I know I have myself to blame. But there is how you live your life as a single person. And by the time you get married, certain things happen and you begin to question yourself because you cannot understand why those things are happening. Even though I have a very supportive husband who is who is not disturbing me, but me as a woman, because growing up I already had these things in my head when I was supposed to get married, when I was supposed to have my children, how many kids I wanted to have, and when I was supposed to stop. So staying till this point without kids of my own is like something that I sometimes cannot fathom the idea. But then again, when I share these stories to some people that are closer to me, they still remind me of the fact that I need to be grateful to God that I'm alive. That probably is because I was the one that was sick, so I did not see the severity, the things that happened to me when I was sick. But I'm still grateful to God. Trust me, it's not like I am not. I am grateful to God for the gift of a second chance at life. So in today's video, if today is your first time clocking into my videos, my name is Ndueso. I am a registered nurse currently living and practicing in the Republic of Ireland, and I am here with my husband. We've been apart from each other for 15 months. So in as much as I am still thinking of inability to conceive, I also know that when you are trying to get a baby, there are certain things that needs to work, and those things were not actually working in our favor at the time, which is something that is giving me hope, if you know what I mean. If you know what it means for married couples to stay for that long time away from each other, you know that there is no mating, there is no sexually, togetherness for you to know, oh, I've actually been trying. Yeah, we've been trying, but when I was back home, even though we're still doing like a long distance relationship, but I am just praying and hoping that by the time we feel we are ready, everything will fall in place. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you currently struggling with infertility? Do you have a child of your own after you've been trying for a while? What works for you? What did you do differently that changed your story? If you were to go back in time, what would you advise somebody who is beating themselves up because of the struggles of infertility. If you were to have a little sister, what will you tell them about? Because these things, having conversations about these things, I think helps me to stay insane, which is the reason I have decided to bring this part of my life onto social media, because I actually don't want people to be the ones to be asking me. I don't want to get to the point where people will maybe drop some comment on my videos or even ask me physically what's going on, because this is a struggle I am dealing with. So after I lost our first child in 2020, because of the complications that set in, how I was ill, sick, and all of that stuff, the doctor advised that I stay for at least 1 full year before I even think of trying to get pregnant again. So he recommended that I go for family planning, which I didn't go. I did not go because I know that when I left and go back home, I can keep track of not trying to get pregnant for a year. It was something I was so sure about, because normally when you deliver, you go back home, you stay for a period of time at your parents' place before you even go back to your husband's house, which was the case in my own. So I was with my mom I was already in the hospital for almost how many weeks. They came back, stayed with my sister for a few weeks before I went back home, stayed with my mom for like I think 2 months plus, and then before I even started going to my husband's place. But even at that, I was still trying to keep track of, make sure that it wasn't actually happening naturally. So when the 1 year that he gave to us now passed, we were now not so conscious about the time we are meeting and all that stuff, and nothing was forthcoming for about 4 months. I went back to the hospital to see the doctor. That was when he recommended a few tests for me. I did them and it didn't come out quite well. I'm not sure I am ready to talk about the diagnosis here. Maybe in the coming videos I will talk about those things later, so please bear with me. So after we had the conversation with the doctor, he was actually advising on the options going forward, but at the time we did not have the financial, should I say, capabilities to go through with any treatment or trying to find any solution. All we had to do was to wait. So I just waited till that 2021 passed. 2022 was when I came to the realization of relocation process, and after that I sat down with my husband to kind of have a conversation about what we are going to do henceforth, and we came to a conclusion that we should concentrate first on trying to see if this relocation process will work, after which we will see what we can do with regards to fertility joining. So we started saving up. If you've been watching my video, you would see how we struggled to even save up for the relocation process. So when everything was done and I left Nigeria in December 2023 and arrived here, I've been here alone from that time till now, March, that he's able to join me. So this is when we will now go forward to see what the problem is. Yes, I have tried to do some of the things I could do on my own while I am here alone, which that includes going to my GP, trying to get some preliminary information across. This is a new country and the healthcare system is very different from what we are used to back home. But I have been able to see my GP. He has referred me to the hospital to go see a gynecologist so that we can continue, but he was still of the opinion that I may still need to do more of should I call it assisted way of conceiving, which I am not against. The only thing I am a bit skeptical about is that, or I don't know if I should say skeptical or anxious should be, when I watch people's stories, I hear the way they talk about some of the struggles they go with undergoing this kind of intense procedure to get pregnant. I'm just like, God, will I be able to do this? Am I in the right frame of mind to be able to go through this? But I am still grateful that I was able to get all of these things done. So now that my husband is here, very soon we will be, actively trying to conceive. If you have watched up to this point and you wish me well, let me know probably your constellations, anything you think I should do. If you live in Ireland and you have any knowledge about fertility struggles, fertility treatment, what you did, what others have done, please let me know in the comments so that let me know the right things to do. Because one thing I do not want to do, even though this is something I actually want, is the fact that I don't want to start with the wrong things. That is even the main reason I'm bringing this here, because nobody is an island of knowledge. I don't want to do the wrong thing and later on I realize that I started wrongly. So if you have any ideas for me, if you have any suggestions, especially if you live in Europe, even if you live in the UK and you come across this video, you have any idea about this, let me know in the comments. What do you think I should do? Here is the best place to go. Mind you, I'm actually starting publicly. I mean, I'm going to public hospitals. From there, I am thinking that they may refer us to private, and I have tried to also take health insurance to see that when that time comes, they should be able to cover a few things for us. But I'm just very skeptical. I am anxious. Sometimes I cry my eyes out, and I just wonder, because you go online and you see how people are getting this thing without struggling. Some people will even go as far as aborting it and doing all sorts of things, and here I am crying and weeping and begging and just doing all sort of things just to make sure I have this same gift. And I know that one day, that is the thing I am not confused about. I am never confused that I will not have my own biological children. I will. Now, don't get that twisted to say I'm against you not getting children that are not biologically yours. No, there are different methods of getting kids as long as it is what you want. But I really want to have my own biological children, and preferably with my husband. We've done it before. I believe that God can make us do this again. The first time when we were pregnant, I actually been stressed, like, which is why I am angry of the treatment I got, because whatever thing I'm suffering now is because of the treatment I received during my first pregnancy. And I don't even know if I should say God will not forgive so many people that were involved in treating me at the time. But let's just leave that one for today. So all I'm begging all of you is, if you have any opinion, please feel free to drop them for me. I am ready. If you have any experience to share, feel free to drop them in the comments. I am ready to learn. I am ready to listen to all of you, to be very honest. So please, that's just what I need to say out here, because it's not been easy. It's not been easy. I remember even when my mom was on my school, trying to call me what is going on, I was telling her it is not happening, it's not easy, and I'm not really ready to start, the whole process, all of that stuff, because it's emotionally draining. which is emotionally draining. I'm sure that if you've been in this situation, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is emotionally draining. But I am not losing my hope. I am not taking the fact that the same God who did it the first time will do it again and again and again and again. So I think that's where I'm going to stop. I was just doing like a day in my life, going shopping, arranging the house, and just doing a few things around the house because this was like me preparing for the coming of my husband, just going to get a few stuff to see how I can stock up the house to the best that I can. It wasn't actually easy, but I we did it, and I'm thank God and grateful, and I appreciate the fact that my husband is here with me now. And I'm just going to see you in the rest of my video. Let me know your thoughts, let me know your opinions, let me know your suggestions in the comments. I'll see you guys in my next